Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Alyssa. I just wanted to create this intro video to go through a little bit about myself and the kind of content that I'll be posting on this channel. This is my safe drink. Worth it. Okay. So essentially I'll be posting fashion and lifestyle content, but right now I want to get into a little bit of a background about myself just so you know a little bit more about me. In my head right now, I am mentally checked out of school. This was my last week and I handed in all my final assignments, so I feel free. As if a weight has just lifted off my shoulders. So this was my last year and let's just say it has been a journey to say the least. So for the past 5-6 years, I've been going to fashion school in Toronto at Ryerson, which is now Toronto Metropolitan University. I didn't know that I wanted to be in this program specifically, and it wasn't until like halfway through where I was like, okay, I'm meant to be here. I love what I'm doing. And that was kind of a tough little rocky road to be on, but I'm done, I'm here, and that's all that matters. But I am personally not going back to school. I do love it, but that chapter is now closed and now on to other things. When I was in grade 11 and 12 and trying to figure out what I was going to do for the rest of my life and where I was going to go to university, I was steering more towards business school, and I wanted to get a degree in business or marketing, something like that. In grade 12, around the deadline area of when you're supposed to apply to all the universities, the night before, randomly decided that I wanted to apply for fashion school, which I didn't really talk too much about with like my family and friends, just because I was just a little bit embarrassed, just because everyone that I knew was going to very traditional schools, let's say. In the back of my head, I always wanted to go to like, I just wanted to be in the fashion industry. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted to be there, but I was also kind of scared to say that to certain people or, you know, traditional minds. So I just decided to apply to a bunch of business schools in Toronto. When I was doing this other research about fashion programs and stuff, I found this one at Ryerson and I was very tempted to do it. I remember I was looking online for fashion schools just to be like, let's just see what's here. Let's just see if there's something close to me that I can apply to. And I found one at Ryerson. So it was the fashion communications program that I was applying for. Even though I was applying to all these business schools, I knew like deep down I was meant for something in the fashion industry. I knew that I wanted to be in the industry. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to be there. So I had seen this fashion communications program at Ryerson that they were offering, but I was always going back and forth. Once I applied to all of my business schools, I saw the fashion communication program at Ryerson and I'm like, I should just go for it. Like, I should just try and like, let me see what the application process is like and let me just try it. During that time, I kind of mentioned it to like one person that I was interested in going into that, and it was this guy that I was talking to at the time. I told him about my idea to go into fashion and like try getting into that program, and he was like, no, you're not going to do anything with fashion, like don't even apply to that, like go into business, like take the safe route, like all that. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're right, okay. Anyways, I did not listen to that, and then I went online and looked at the application process and found out that the deadline was that night, or no, not that night, the next morning. So I looked at the application process and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. I had to write an essay, I had to have a whole portfolio, or no, I had to have like 3 specific portfolio pieces, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't really have much. Like, I always sketch stuff for design and just for my own thing, like just for fun. It wasn't anything professional at all, but I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I need to do it perfectly. Like, this is my only shot. I'm just gonna put together an application and hope for the best. It's due tomorrow, and deep down, I really want to get into this school over all my business school applications that I applied to. So I just went with it, and last minute, I told my parents, I'm like, I'm going to apply to this fashion school, and I'm just gonna see how it goes, whatever. The application's due tomorrow. And they're like, oh, okay, good luck, whatever. They were very supportive. So I decided to do this application, and I was working on it from like, let's say 5 o'clock to the next day until I had to go hand it in downtown Toronto. And I went and handed it in like at 3 with one of my friends. It was crazy because I full on wrote an essay and did my portfolio piece, and I was just like, I don't know how I stayed up all night, but I did it and I handed it in. So I got the acceptance letter to business schools, but then I also got my acceptance letter to the fashion school. I kept going back and forth to decide what I wanted to do, and I feel like I was only doing that for the sake of other people in my life. Like that person that I was talking to was always like, you know, don't go into fashion or whatever, and I'm like yeah, it's the safe route not to, but like I want to be there and I want to wake up happy and go do something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to spend time doing something that I don't see myself doing. So my program was fashion communications, which is business and fashion put in one. So I thought, yes, I'm gonna accept it. Once I accepted it, everything was amazing, great summer, nice. Then fall came and I started my semester and I was straight up losing my mind. I had so many courses. I just kind of got thrown into it, you know. I didn't take a year off of school. I just went straight from graduation to university. I was not ready for it at all. It was a lot of work, very stressful, and I had a lot of courses, so I ended up dropping a lot of them at the beginning, or in first year altogether. I dropped so many courses, which made me very behind. It's not like I didn't actually, no, I didn't enjoy those courses. They were hard. And I basically, like, if there's a course that I absolutely love, like, I will be working all night on it. But some of it, such as the history stuff, I just can't sit down and listen to that all day. It's just not my thing. If you love it, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I wish I could do that, but it's just not me. And I was struggling in every history course. I don't know. They just weren't my favorite thing to do. I dropped so many courses first year, which set me behind. And this is a 4-year program. You have 8 years to complete it. But I was already setting myself behind first year because it was such a like dramatic change for me. And the kind of work that was involved, I literally did not expect it. And obviously over time, I became better and better at it. But it was very stressful first year. And all this stuff, I was on probation. It was just a mess and very stressful. So the actual school part, reading, writing, all that, I was good at. I didn't love it, and it was very stressful and damaging or draining to my mental health. So I was doing that for like 2.5 years, and then I was like, I literally cannot handle this anymore. I need a break. So I wanted to take a break from school completely and just focus on something else or figure out my life in general. I felt like I needed a break. Then after thinking about it more and more, I decided to just do my internship hours. So for my program to graduate, you need 400 internship hours, and it has to consist of 3 different ones. I was not looking into my internship, and I wasn't planning on doing it until like my 4th year. But I randomly got this email, because I guess it's not random. They always email students about upcoming opportunities for internship. So when I was planning on dropping my entire semester and just like taking a break from school completely, I got this email and it was about internship opportunities. I was just like, okay, let me just look at it and see what's out there. When I opened it, I found that there was an ET Canada stylist internship, and I was like, this actually sounds kind of cool. Like, I never looked into styling before. I never looked into that side of the fashion industry, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna apply. Like, let's just see what's the worst that can happen. Like, they say no, okay, that's fine. But I applied, and I didn't know what to expect at all. I went for an interview, there was an assignment and all this stuff, and I ended up getting the internship job as a stylist for ET Canada, and that probably changed my life. I loved it so much. I never even knew styling was a thing, like an actual job, right? Instead of taking the semester off entirely from school, I decided to apply to this internship for ET Canada and focus on just internship hours. Try to do hands-on experience because the in-person writing, all that stuff was draining. So draining. So I went in person, did this ET Canada internship, and it was amazing. It was like a whole new chapter. I enjoyed every second of it. It was very intense, extremely stressful. It's what made me truly understand that I am meant to be here. I do like this school and I learned so much from it. I don't know, I just loved it. Like, there's not even much I can say. It was just an amazing experience. Like, you work so hard, but everything was so worth it because you have something to show. And even the people I met were great. I'm still friends with some of them to this day. Like, it was just an amazing experience all around. And if you're into that sort of thing, definitely apply. Do not doubt yourself and just push yourself as hard as you can. Long story short, ET Canada styling internship was amazing for me. I learned so much, met amazing people. I feel like it's a huge part of where I am today. Okay, my camera just died. Okay. So, as I was saying, my internship basically changed my life, and while I was doing that internship, COVID was just starting. It kind of sucked because I was so happy where I was finally like having a good experience and enjoying myself every day. As soon as I was doing this, the internship, I was like, my mood completely changed because it was just amazing. I loved the environment and everything. So after, I think it was like 3.5 months, maybe 4 months of doing it, COVID, the lockdown happened. And I was literally like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? Because they ended up canceling the internship completely. So I was like, okay, I got my hours, but I still wanted to like learn more from there because I was learning so much and making new connections as well. I basically found that I was lost just a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my styling certificate because school's done right now. COVID is happening, lockdown is happening, so there's nothing I can do about it. No one's going outside. I'm just gonna find a program online. So I went to the Fashion Stylist Institute for my styling certificate, and it was very different from my in-person university school experience. Like, I loved doing the online course, and I also just loved the information and the education I was getting from that. I just found it so beneficial in so many ways. It was a program where you can take your time with it. You basically have to follow modules and then you send it to the teachers. They'll mark your stuff as you go. I think you had 3 to like 2 years to complete everything within the modules and to get your certificate. I literally finished it within like 3 weeks because I was so excited. I was waking up, there was nothing to do because we were in lockdown. I was waking up every single morning so early and just working all day. I was working all day on this stuff because I'm like, I love it so much and I really want to get like an A in this. I want to get my certificate and start styling people and get a job in this and everything. Once I finished that, I got my styling certificate around like 3 weeks. I was like, okay, so let me start styling. And I couldn't do anything because it was lockdown. So I wanted to reach out to people. I wanted to like learn from other stylists. I wanted to do so many things and I just couldn't do it because literally the toilet paper was running out of every Walmart. Like, people are going crazy. Do you remember that? Like no one would go outside, and if they were, it was to the grocery store to take all the toilet paper and make all the stock low in everything. I remember that. And I was scared, but there was nothing I could do with styling, is what I meant. And it was such a weird time in my life because I'm like, I finally found what I wanted to do, and now I have no idea when the lockdown is going to be lifted. So I had like, I didn't really know too much about TikTok at the time, but my little sister was always talking about it, and then I ended up getting it during COVID, the lockdown, and I'm like, this is something that I could do. And I remember thinking, I can definitely just style on TikTok and see how that goes, because why not? The lockdown just started I got my certificate, can't do anything with it, so I'm just gonna start styling online. My own clothing, because I'm straight up, I'm a shopaholic. Like, maybe not currently, but before, I was buying things all the time. It was very bad, very unhealthy. So at that time, I was shopping all the time, and I was like, let me just try styling on TikTok. And I did believe that I was gonna get somewhere with it. I think that I manifested it. I don't know if you think manifesting is like stupid, but I love manifesting and I think it actually does work. I think I manifested my TikTok career. I'm not really doing it seriously anymore because of this whole thing that happened, and my entire account got banned, so everything that I worked on got deleted. But I will get there. So once I decided I'm gonna do TikTok, since it was lockdown and I want to try some new things, I basically started by learning how to sew. I would get like old clothing, chop it up, make it very cute. I would get like old jerseys and just like cut it all up, make like a nice crop top with like a neck thing. I don't know what I was doing, but I was just learning how to sew and filming the process, doing a little time lapse and posting it on TikTok. I was probably at like 3 followers, okay? I was at 3 followers, getting 0 views on everything. Literally everything. And I'm like, I do not care about my views right now. I just like saw it as an opportunity. Like, I'm gonna showcase what I can do, even though it's very beginner sewing stages. I'm just gonna practice, do what I want, and see how it goes, right? I'm just gonna film my process. I would post as if I knew exactly what I was doing. I was using my hashtags, I was filming my videos, creating content, getting better at filming, all that stuff. And I remember I was so consistent for like a month straight. I was posting like 3 times a day, and I was filming, editing, posting 3 times a day, and I was always getting 0 views for a full month straight. 0, 10, 0, 10, 0, 10. Back and forth, 2 once in a while. I had like 2 followers. And I remember my boyfriend at the time was like, what are you doing? He was like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? Like, you're not going anywhere with TikTok? Like, don't even try. Like, every single time I would be editing a video, he's like, you're wasting your time. I'm like, okay, that's a great motivation for me. But yeah, every time I was posting and excited about it, he'd be like, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. Whatever. And I'm just like, okay, that's great. Whatever. So I just kept doing it, and I ended up breaking up with him because, you know, you want people that lift you up, motivate you, inspire you, and not put you down or negative all the time. So I wanted to remove myself from that situation, and I just kept doing what I wanted to do. I focused on TikTok. I ended up switching from like sewing videos to styling videos because I'm like, you know what, this will be a good way to showcase my styling, and maybe I can get clients from that or build up a portfolio there, since I can't actually go out into the real world because of the lockdown. I ended up building my TikTok to about, it was like 65,000. And I was so happy about it. I literally, like, I'm so happy that I wasn't listening to the people around me, such as my ex at that time, and just certain friends at the time that were like, that's so stupid, like, what are you doing? I just didn't listen to any of them, and I just kept doing it because in my head, I was manipulating myself. Like, in my head, I was seeing that I was getting 1 million views, 1 million views, 1 million views, 1 million views in my head. But in reality, I was getting 2, 10, 0, nothing. I kept doing it for 6.5 months straight. Editing, filming, posting, editing, filming, posting, editing, filming, posting. I would post, I would wake up at like 5 a.m., work out, do all that, and then film all day and post. Film all day, edit, and post. For 6.5 months straight, I did it, wasn't getting anything, and then one day in like, I think it was November or December, I hit 1 million views on one video, and I was like, what? Like, what is going on? I was getting no views. Towards like November, I was starting to get like 1,000 and stuff like that, but it was nothing. at that time, and I just kept visualizing myself like, you're gonna get to 50K, you're gonna get to 50K. And I just, when I looked at my account, I would see 50K, like my followers. I would see in my head 50K, even though it would be at like maybe 1,000 after. I just kept visualizing what I wanted, and then one day one of my videos just blew up like crazy and it hit 1 million, and then I just kept posting consistently after that. Everything just kept going up. I kept getting like, I got a lot of cool brand deals. I got a bunch of things that I knew that I could get, but I was told that I was never gonna make it there. So I was very happy with myself for a long time. I kind of like proved the other people wrong that were kept just negative energy. We don't like that. So I just did it and followed through, and I built a business off of my TikTok, which was very unexpected. Like, I didn't know that I wanted to go into content creation until that moment. Because of the lockdown, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to succeed. So I focused, and I was very proud. So I kept doing TikTok for probably like 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I was being consistent all the time, treating it like a real job. It was a full-time business that I was running in my eyes, and it was becoming very successful, and I was making a good amount of money from it, which I didn't expect to do. Like, my whole idea was to get like styling clients and make money through that, and not through like brands sending me clothing directly and stuff like that, because I was getting sponsorships and everything, and it was such a cool experience. And through that, I actually did end up getting styling jobs. I was working for commercials, doing creatives, and it was so much fun. And I was finally having the styling career that I actually wanted for myself, and only saw like 1.5 years prior to that. So it was pretty cool, and everything went full circle. I would stick to a posting schedule where I would film everything throughout the day, and then if I had a styling job, I would pre-film everything and then set alarms throughout the day to like post. So it was around lunchtime, I had a styling job, and it was like a commercial styling job. I went to the bathroom just to like post quick because my alarm went off, and then I went back on set, continued whatever. Then I went home, and when I opened my TikTok account, it was gone. It just said, your account has been permanently deleted due to community guideline violations. And I'm like, oh, what? Like, I had to do triple takes at that. I kept trying to log in again. I kept going back and forth. I was losing my mind, because that's where majority of my income was coming from at that time. And I was just in shock, because I put so much free time and dedication into that, and I actually loved doing what I was doing. I loved building a community and like getting followers and talking to people and meeting people through that. When I saw that my account was gone, I was literally like all that work went to nothing. I was just sad about it, because I'm like, I put so much work into this, and I felt like I proved so many people wrong. I finally got to where I wanted to get to. Just like that, it was gone with zero explanation. Because even when I would click, it would be like, you can appeal this. I would click the appeal, and then it was like, you're not allowed to appeal this. And I'm like, what is going on? So it was very confusing, and I was just in shock, and I was crying. I was sad. I worked so hard on that. That was my little baby. And it finally, like, when I created the account and I saw my future with it, I literally thought like I was good to go. I was, you know, when I started making money from it and actually making income from a social media platform, I was in shock, because I didn't know that that was possible for me. And when I was doing it, I ended up loving it. It was great, because I was doing what I loved and still making money off of it. Once I got that notification, I was freaking out, and I was just like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna try to appeal this. So I would email TikTok at least 3 times a day for like 2.5 months, and it just wasn't, I wasn't getting any responses. I wasn't getting any like valuable information back. I was like sending paragraphs. I was like trying to explain myself the best that I can and whatever. It didn't work. The account's completely gone forever now. Obviously, it's still a bit upsetting, but I made a lot of friends from that, and I got a lot of cool experiences out of it, so I don't regret any of it. It just kind of sucks how it ended. Anyways, my TikTok journey did not go as planned, but completely fine. I'm gonna try to do YouTube now and actually focus on this platform more, just because I tried to go back on TikTok. I'll still post once in a while there, but it just doesn't feel the same. I don't feel like I'm enjoying it as much just because of what happened. And I like posting on YouTube because it's like new, refreshing to me. I've never posted on here really before, so it's just like an exciting new journey, and I get excited for new things. So I'm gonna see how that goes. Throughout my TikTok little life, I was determined after to build a clothing brand. I've always wanted to build a clothing brand. I just never knew where to start or if I had the potential to doing one. And I was just like, you know what? The TikTok, if it goes well, in my head, I was always like, I know it's gonna go well, all that stuff, manifestation, whatever. So if it goes well, I would use my TikTok platform as a marketing service for my clothing brand that I make. I was basically at the very beginning steps, but I was so excited to put in work for a clothing brand because I had my account. I would have been able to promote my own clothing to people since they already trusted like my sense of style and styling on a daily basis. I kind of wanted to bring up that TikTok story just because it's kind of about like my fashion little journey, but also you can't let people's opinions get in the way of what you truly want. If I listened to that person in high school who said, don't go into fashion, it's stupid, and I also heard that from multiple people, if I listened to any of them, I would have never found my way to like ET Canada or meet like the amazing people that I've met today if I never just started posting on TikTok and like seeing my future there. I would have never gone to shoot or style commercial shoots. Like I would have never got to experience any of that being on set. I'm just like very thankful in a way for those people that like tried to put me down or like deter me from going through the path that I felt I was meant to go on. I'm just saying that because like it's so important to follow what makes you happy, because when you don't, you're just like a mess, lost. So no matter what people think, just do what you want, do what makes you happy, and you will get to exactly where you're meant to be. You will get to what you see yourself as. I don't know, it's just, I'm so happy that these people were like, don't go into that, don't go into that, because that, once I did get where I saw myself being before, once I did get to my 50K on TikTok, or once I got into my fashion school, I was so proud of myself and I was so happy that I didn't listen to these people. So now I just finished my final semester of university. I'm basically trying to figure things out, see what I'm gonna do with my life now. I want to do content creation, but I also need a full-time job, so we're gonna figure that situation this week. I need to figure that out ASAP. I need to figure that out right now. So as soon as I'm done this video, I'm gonna be applying to jobs. I just want to be very comfortable in front of the camera today. I don't know, I want to talk to the camera like it's my friend in a weird way. So yeah, that's my little intro video. I hope you learned a little bit more about me. Yeah, we're just gonna see how this goes, and I'm really excited about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I don't know, do I say the subscribe thing? Like, subscribe, notification, whatever. Stress, bro. Stress. This, I drink every single day and I'm obsessed with. Fun fact. Healthy for your skin. Okay, well, bye!